What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric. Thanks for tuning in to Morris 4x4 Center. You caught me out here in the warehouse. I'm pulling these Fox shocks for a customer that came in. He's looking to upgrade the shocks on his Jeep Rubicon. That leads me to today's Tech Tuesday question. What exactly is the difference between a regular Wrangler and a Wrangler Rubicon? Well, I'm gonna go deliver these shocks and we'll head back into the shop and we'll go over exactly what those differences are. All right, guys, so before we go over what makes a Rubicon, you guys are going to need to know a brief history on how it actually came to fruition. Now, I bet you guys didn't know that the whole Rubicon project was almost 86th and it was never going to exist at all. The reason being is that it's very difficult to convince a bunch of pencil pushers and accountants the benefits of adding a $6,000 price tag on top of an already factory vehicle, to convince them that people are actually going to purchase this right from the showroom floor. Well, there was about a small group of 100 different engineers that actually worked for Jeep out of the, 10,000 that were hardcore Jeepers. They were off-roaders. They knew the benefits of adding these aftermarket parts to the vehicle, and they came up with the bright idea that they should just offer them right from the factory. Well, again, that $6,000 price tag was something very difficult to convince corporate Jeep, so what they ended up doing was taking a little bit of a backward approach. Now, two very bright engineers out of this lunatic fringe that worked for Jeep actually took a couple Jeeps home with them, modified them on their own dime and on their personal time. They ended up adding a 4-to-1 aftermarket transfer case to one Jeep and then also selectable lockers to another Jeep. Now, the rest of the Jeeps remained completely factory, so there was no clue that these were actually modified. And they took these Jeeps out to Jeep's yearly retreat, or kind of like a trial by fire, or it's like an expedition that they take to the Rubicon Trail for all their new members that just joined the Jeep family, and they take them out on the Rubicon and show them what Jeeps are all about. Well, as you can guess, these guys were fighting for the keys for those two modified Jeeps because they were just able to crawl through the trail and they handled obstacles with ease, unlike the other stock TJs that had open differentials and that 272-to-1 transfer case that wasn't exactly the best, but it did a good job for a vehicle with stock tires. So that's when the gears started turning and the head honchos of Jeep actually saw the benefit of modifying these Jeeps firsthand. Now, after a lot of pushing and shoving, they finally convinced corporate Jeep to build the Rubicon Wrangler, and it turned out to be the most capable production Wrangler to date. They started in 2003, and they offered it all the way up to the 2006 TJ models. And of course, as most of you probably know, the Rubicon is available from 2007 all the way up to the current Wranglers, and they're even going to start producing them right into the JL Wranglers as well, because people know that these are the most capable Jeeps right out of the box. And of course, they are so capable that you don't have to modify them, but the Rubicons are probably some of the most heavily modified Wranglers that you're going to find out there on the trails today. Now, at first glance, when you take a look at a Rubicon, the differences aren't really that apparent. They look just like any other Wrangler out there on the road. The real differences are internal. The actual guts and drivetrain of the Jeep is what makes it a Rubicon. Now, of course, there are some visual enhancements like a Rubicon decal, front and rear Dana 44 differentials with selectable lockers, and an off-road friendly 410 gear ratio.
An ultra-low range 4-to-1 transfer case.
Some of the other upgrades you're going to find, starting with the TJ Rubicons, of course, are those tires. They actually came with 16-inch Rubicon-specific rims, and they used a 31 by 9.5-inch Goodyear mud terrain. Also on the TJ Rubicons, you're going to find some diamond plate rocker armor and also different colored shocks. They actually painted those shocks red just to give it a little bit of extra, I've got a Rubicon. Now, moving along to the JK, you'll also find on certain models the special anniversary bumpers on the JKs. The JKs will also come with a Rubicon rock rail as well. And then, of course, in the JKs, the tire size is going to be that 255 7517. Basically, it's a 32-inch BF Goodrich mud terrain, and then also on certain models, the new BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain is available as well. Of course, you've got different colored shocks on the JK Rubicon, and aside from that, that pretty much wraps up the differences of a Rubicon. Now, there's some other subtle differences like leather interior and things like that, and power options, but for the most part, that is the meat and potatoes of what makes a Rubicon a Rubicon. All right, so hopefully you have a better understanding of what a Rubicon actually is, what it's all about. You know, it is the most capable factory Wrangler that you can get right out of the box. Depending on your needs, you may not even have to upgrade it at all, but as you know, being a Jeeper, you can't let it be. You always got to change it and modify it. I've got that affliction very badly. So guys, now if you don't actually have a Rubicon, you're not out of the woods. There are a ton of aftermarket parts and accessories to make your Jeep just as capable as a Rubicon. And if you're just looking to upgrade your Jeep to a Rubicon, all those parts are actually available in the aftermarket. You know, Mopar Performance has those front and rear Dana 44s already loaded with lockers and that 410 gearing that the Rubicons come with. You can also purchase those anniversary bumpers and the Rubicon rock rails separately as well. And of course, if you have a Rubicon and those Rubicon decals are looking a little crusty and you want to preserve the fact that you've got that Rubicon, that ultra capable Jeep, we also sell those replacement decals as well. You can check that all out on our website, morris4x4center.com. I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I hope you leave a little more educated than you were when you started this video. Stay tuned for the next Tech Tuesday. We post videos every week, so definitely stay tuned. We've got that subscribe button popping up right over here. Click on that guy and subscribe, as well as follow us on all of our social media platforms. We are posting tons of content daily. We love interacting with all of you, and we appreciate you watching. So stay tuned to Morris 4x4 Center. I'm Eric. See you out on the trail.